Alright, so welcome back to another video. Today's video we're gonna be talking about Invincible versus.
Yeah, how you like this? It's an army!
I am ending you! I see it all now.
So this is a new tag game that just got announced a couple days ago. Now I had the opportunity, big shout out to Skybound Games for giving me this opportunity to play the game early and also bring you guys some early footage. So basically we're going to talk about pretty much my first impressions about how the game feels, the movement, the characters, system mechanics, all the stuff I could remember, and pretty much explain to you guys how the game feels. I know a lot of you guys have questions and I'm going to answer a bunch of them here today, and thanks again to Skybound for this opportunity. But please do note that a lot of this stuff is early access footage, and some things that you see right here might not be the same thing on release. And once again, big thanks to Skybound for this opportunity to show you guys this footage early and give me the hands-on playtime. So first impressions on how the game feels. So I'm going to pretty much yap about a lot of different stuff. I'll probably come back to some points, bring up new points. This is not really gonna be organized. I'm going to just talk about it, give you guys my raw thoughts, first impressions, everything. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start now. So first impressions and how the game feels. The maps and visuals on this game are key and seem to take a lot of inspiration from the show, which is really sick. Obviously this game is based on a huge IP, which is Invincible, and I'm a big fan of. It shows a lot of blood in the show and there's a lot of blood in the game. The impact and click, all of that stuff just holds together very, very well in this game. Like obviously the fight scenes in the show, they were going at it. It's insane. They beat the crap out of each other, and you can clearly see in this game it takes inspiration from the comics in the show a lot. Like you basically get to feel like the same fight experiences Mark went through in the show. That pretty much like sums out how like the game feels and looks. It's really sick. And also basically, if I were to sum up how this game feels in like basically a couple words, it's a very fast and brutal game. You can explode very, very easily if you fall asleep and don't react. Like I'm talking, if you mess up or blink, as crazy as that sounds, if you're getting comboed, if you blink, you will die. I will explain it here in a second. Anyway, my first impressions felt pretty good. There's a lot of system mechanics, but not too much to the point where I felt overwhelmed. So like, it was very easy for me to jump into. If I fought someone that has a lot of hours on the game, it didn't feel like I was at too much of a disadvantage. I mean, first when I didn't understand the controls and mechanics and stuff, sure. But like, I wouldn't really say it was mainly because I wasn't playing good. It was mainly because I wasn't utilizing the system mechanics. The system mechanics they have in the game, they really want you to use them, because if you don't use them, you will die. That's just how it is. That's how it is with most games, but in this game, it shows very clearly that you will mess up and explode and die if you don't use the system mechanics. That system mechanic I will try and bring up now, which is pretty much counter tag. The counter tag mechanic, because obviously this is an active tag game, you can pretty much tag in characters while you're doing combos. If you don't counter tag, you will explode. That's just how it is. And occasionally I did have to look in the booklet like for like my first hour of like the general mechanics and stuff, but after like I think an hour or two, most mechanics just pretty much stuck with me. So it's good to know that the mechanics, the system mechanics of this game, they're very easy and simple to pick up. There's not like a bunch of mechanics like, I don't know, Fatal Fury. Fatal Fury has a lot of mechanics, system mechanics that you have to pretty much utilize, and it's a lot of depth. This game doesn't have that much, but the characters themselves have some depth to it if you are willing to put the time in with the characters. And let's talk about characters. Characters felt pretty simple to use. Mark especially, or in since he's pretty much a starter character and main character, I expect him to be pretty simple, and yeah, he definitely felt that way. He's the main character, so obviously they wouldn't want to make him like crazy hard or nothing like that. So he pretty much had some sauce if you dig in and use the assist. But there are characters that you don't even need to use assist and you will still get a lot of sauce, like Eve. You wouldn't even need assist to tell that just moment off just jumping on the character. This character is crazy. She has literal flight. Like there's a skill that she has that where she can literally just start flying around up and down, left, right, just doing whatever she wants. And she can boost it as well, because there's a boost mechanic in the game, which is pretty much like your EX gauge. It's like the little yellow bar at the top. If you use that, you can pretty much just boost your skills, which is pretty cool because you're going to need that to string together longer combos, and longer combos get you more damage. So obviously every character or every assist has their own yellow bar. As you can see, there's 3 different yellow bars for each character. So basically when you EX a skill, it takes yellow meter obviously, but that's not all the yellow meter is for. You can also use it to influence your movement, which is another thing I want to talk about. The movement felt very similar to MVC3 or any of your traditional tag based fighter since you can't really run. You can only dash. Some characters even have flight, like I said, like Adam Eve. But yeah, the yellow bars at the top, you can use that to influence your movement as well. So like I think you can use it to fast fall or use it to like dash forward or something like that. I don't really remember, but I know for sure you can use it to fast fall. It'll take like I think 1 bar or something like that. But like I said, some things that might be subject to change. But the yellow bar pretty much is very important because you can also use it to break combos. So yeah, basically I think it takes like 2 bars to break a combo. So there is a burst in this game if you are exploding. But I think there's 2 different types of it though. You can either use your own character's burst to get out of a combo, or you can call your assistant to use 2 of their bars to get out of a combo, if I remember correctly. But all I remember is that there's a burst. I could be wrong about the 2 parts, but that's pretty much in the game, and the yellow meter is very important. Now, obviously, there's another meter at the bottom, which is your super meter. You can see little purple bars at the bottom left and bottom right. Obviously, there's level 1s and there's level 3s in this game. I don't remember if anyone had a level 2 or anything like that. So if you do a level 1 in this game, I think the control scheme for that is special and boost. Because like I said, because this is a 8-button game with no motion inputs. I'll talk more about the 8 buttons and the no motion input stuff later and the stuff I don't like. But yeah, this is an 8-button game, so if you were trying to use special 1, the input is special and boost. A boost is the actual button that you use to EX your skills, obviously, and EXing your skills, like I said, gives you longer combos, more stuff, yada yada, you get the gist of it. And yeah, that's pretty much how that function works. Every character has a level 1 and a level 3. Now, another thing I want to talk about is that there is pretty much combos in this game, and you're going to explode, like I said, but the combos aren't infinite or nothing like that. There's a combo meter at the I think middle right of the screen. As you can see, there's like a little brown meter or something like that. If you keep comboing over and over and over, the meter will go down faster. So that's pretty much like the length at which the combo can max out. Also, there's another thing in this game which is like a combo system from KI. I don't know the exact term for it is because I never played KI, but you can pretty much link normals into the same normal. So like, you do a standing medium into a crouching medium, back to a standing medium, back to a crouch medium. So basically you can like pretty much do loops with them, which is really sick. But obviously if you keep looping the same normal over and over and over, like for example with Thula has long range normals and legit had hair jab loops, which were pretty sick, but I mean they weren't optimal or anything like that. But you can pretty much do it over and over and over, but the combo will drop faster because you're looping the same normals instead of like adding some depth to your combos. So yeah, there's some sauce in the game. You can also do it on the ground, also in the air, which is pretty sick. And the hits and punches and stuff that you can do in this game felt very generous. So like if you're gonna try and string together a combo, most likely it will work. But like I said, there is a combo meter, so just make sure you stay in the general gist of that combo meter. You can influence the combo meter and make it longer, however, and add more time to it, I think, if you use active tags. So like if you switch mid combo, like for example I do like a combo, take him up to the air, slam him down, and then do a super. If I did the super and then tagged into an assist, I can make the combo longer, which is really sick. But active tag is not free. I know a lot of people hate active tag. It is not free in this game. So it pretty much has like the active tag system. I heard it's similar to KI. I never played KI, like I said, so I can't really like confirm that 100%. But basically, the active tag is not as free as other fighting games because you have to play like a mini game when you tag in. So mid combo, yes, you can tag in after a super or after I think a special, but it works like a mini game where your enemy, when you tag in, they can parry it. They can parry it, and if they parry it at the right time when you tag in, like I think the moment the assist character that's tagging in touches their character and they press I think it's medium and heavy, then they can counter the tag and the combo will just end. But if they don't counter the tag, they will continue to get comboed and they will explode. And since you have 3 characters, you can just keep doing it over and over and over. Basically, I think you can do it infinitely, but your enemy just has to react to the minigame. It's not that hard, but like at first glance or when you're first playing the game, you're gonna mess it up a lot. Like that's why I said that when you first play this game, if you're fighting someone that has a lot of experience on this game, they're gonna literally noob stomp you out and scrub you out by just active tagging over and over and over until you react to the minigame. But once you finally start to react to it, it gets a little bit easier to play this game. But there's some mix to it. It's not the same timing every time because your enemy, if they hold the heavy button when they tag in their assist while doing active tag, it can delay the hit. So like they will come in a tiny bit slower than the traditional timing so that you don't just get the timing every single time, because obviously everyone's gonna get the timing down every single time eventually. But with the heavy button, you can mix it up and have like a little bit of a delayed entry, which is like some mix, so that the enemy can't just like time it every single time thinking that you're gonna come at the same time. So yeah, It's pretty much like a little bit of a mind game and a mix up, so you can react to it. It's not like where like it's just unreactable and you have to just guess 50-50. So TODs will be common in this game, but mostly only if your enemy just does not know what they're doing, unless you know a TOD, at least without switching characters, of course. And don't forget, like I said, you can burst. I think it takes 2 EX bars or use your assist to burst. So yeah, there's ways to get out of combos. You're not just gonna be infinitely just getting destroyed. So this game does have sauce when it comes to the system mechanics. Like obviously I haven't really talked about most of like general stuff, like most of like the assist mix stuff, blah blah blah, block string, you call it an assist, overhead. Like, I don't want to talk about like the general tag based fighter stuff. I want to talk about the stuff that's like in this game that's unique and what makes this game instead of your like your traditional tag stuff, because it has pretty much most of your traditional tag stuff mechanics, like push block, assist calling, mid block string, snap back, all of that stuff. I don't want to talk about that stuff. But there's another cool mechanic where you can pretty much smack someone and it crumples them and then hits them to a stage transition. I think it's called a heroic strike. I don't remember how you get this, but I think you have to do like a charged heavy or something like that mid combo. Obviously it has a lot of startup to it, so you can't just get it, but if you hit someone with like a charge heavy and they don't block, it pretty much I think crumples them, and then you can use like the heroic strike on them where it'll like pretty much smack them to the stage or to the wall. It'll wall break and stage transition, and then it's really sick because basically how it works is that your enemy is in a different place and they can't use assists for like I think like 10 seconds or 8 seconds or something like that, because their assists are still in their previous area. So they have to hurry up and fly back to the new one. So it's pretty scary. If you get hit by this, you're screwed. And I think a lot of people, when it gets to like the highest level of play, they're gonna start playing for this stage tradition heroic strike thing. But like I said, it's not free. I think you have to hit like a charge heavy. So I don't know if you can just pretty much like set up ways to get it, but I'm pretty sure people will figure out something. But yeah, that's a really cool, unique mechanic that this game has that I think is pretty sick. And yeah, it makes this game unique because I've never seen a game have that. Also, there is a sudden death. So basically, if the timer runs out, it goes into sudden death. Something similar to like I think Smash Ultimate. Basically, I think the stage sort of like shrinks in and you both have to go fight each other. If you have characters alive before this sudden death activates, it combines the health bars from all your other characters to the point character. So like you guys are one character alive, each person, both a point character. So you'd probably want to like switch to whoever is good enough alone in this sudden death before it combines everyone's health bars and before the timer runs out, of course. So basically you guys are just both sitting there. It's sudden death. The stage is shrinking. I think like all the walls and floors and stuff, or I guess like the wall starts to cave in and then it becomes like lava or fire or something. I don't remember how it works. You guys have to fight. It's crazy, and I think everyone's health starts shrinking over time or something like that. I don't remember how it works. It's something, but that's pretty cool that this game has, and it forces you guys to fight. So you probably would not want to play a zoner into sudden death, if I remember correctly. I don't remember, but all I know is that this game was pretty sick when it came to that, and I thought that was pretty unique. Obviously, there's happy birthdays and all that stuff that this game has, and pretty much if you're expecting a tag fighter similar to the other tag fighters, I don't think you're gonna get that. This game, oh, it has it, but like it has stuff that makes it its own fighter and makes it unique, which is pretty sick. And I think this game is very fun to play and very easy to hop into as well. It's a pretty easy, simple game. Most of the characters that I played felt pretty simple and easy to pick up, but still had a lot of sauce and depth to them that makes the game unique, and felt like, oh wow, if I lab this character, I can probably make some crazy shenanigans and stuff. It's pretty sick. So yeah, it's definitely one of those games that lab monsters are going to enjoy. You can lab for hours. I mean, that's pretty much how most tag fighters are, and you can definitely expect that with this game. Now, let's talk about things I don't like. It's not a lot, it's only a few things. Obviously, this is a no motion input game, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. And also, this is an 8-button game, which is very annoying because it is very annoying to try and find a control scheme to play on if you're an arcade stick or a leverless controller player like me. So I found it pretty difficult to find a comfortable layout because mostly I play with like, I'll probably put an example on the screen, light, medium, heavy across the top, and then assist 1. And then there's special. This is my DBFZ control scheme input. And then there's dash macro, boost, because this game has a boost button, because obviously that's how you EX your skills, and then assist 2. So that's pretty much what my control scheme is. To do supers in this game, it's special and boost at the same time. I think forward and back depends, will determine if you do your level 1 forward or your level 1 back, whichever one, because I think everyone has 3 supers in total: a forward super, a back super, and then your big super, which is your level 3. So that's special and boost. That's 2 buttons, sure. But if I want to use level 3, which is the big ultimate, you have to press 3 different buttons. You have to press special, boost, and heavy. So if you see with my control scheme, that's where the problem lies. It feels very awkward to try and do level 3 with this control scheme, because I have to press special, boost, and heavy at the same time. So I have to press 3 different buttons. It feels kind of awkward, but that's just me. It would feel way more better if the control scheme with the 3 buttons were all at the bottom, but I'm not used to playing light, medium, and with my heavy button at the bottom. Like, that just feels very awkward to me, and this wouldn't even be an issue if this game was just a 2-button special input game or something like that. But unfortunately, this is an 8-button fighter. There's no motion inputs, so I have to press 3 different buttons to use level 3, which is, that's like my only complaint when it comes to the control scheme. It feels very, very awkward. I think this was the usual control scheme they had. It was like light, medium, and then I think heavy was under medium. I'll probably put an example on the screen. That was like, I think, the usual default layout or something like that. But that's just not what I'm used to, because this is just what I play other control scheme games on, or whatever the hell. But it is what it is. Another thing I don't like is that obviously the game isn't motion inputs. That pretty much tied in with my last point, but I mean, hopefully they're open to, I don't know, adding a motion control input mode, even if it does the same damage as people doing no motion inputs. Giving people the option is just always nice, and I think everyone should have that opportunity. Anyway, one last thing I didn't like. So if you're fighting someone that's just zoning and throwing projectiles like crazy, or let's say you're the last character alive and they're just pretty much just zoning you out, throwing projectiles, spamming assists over and over and over, like assists that just clutter the screen, just throwing projectiles, running away, you're taking chip damage. If to my knowledge, there was no system mechanic that negates chip damage. Like, you have to just keep sitting there eating chip damage. There is nothing you can do about it. And yeah, it seems zoners are going to be insanely oppressive in this game, since obviously you can die to chip damage, if I remember correctly, unless they change that when the game comes back. I'm not too sure, but yeah, zoners seemed very, very strong. And yeah, I got kind of shades of Injustice from that. It was kind of yikes, but I don't know. This game is subject to change, like I said, so most of the things I'm talking about might be changed, or might not even be here, or might still be there when the game comes back. But yeah, those are just pretty much my first impressions and thoughts on this game. Obviously, there's one more thing. There is a lot of blood. I'm not too sure how this is going to work when it comes to doing videos on this game, because obviously with that amount of blood, we're gonna get demonetized like crazy. Videos are gonna get taken down, but I don't know. Hopefully they add like a blood toggle or something like that. And yeah, even for people that don't like blood, like I have some friends that they just can't stomach it. Like, they just can't stomach it. Even if it's not even as much as MK, it's just a little bit too much. They just can't stomach it. I hope they have like a blood toggle or something like that. But yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts and opinions on Invincible Versus. This game is sick, definitely worth the try. I actually definitely commend you guys to try out this game if you guys ever get the opportunity, or if it's at Evo or something like that. Definitely try it out. It's a lot of fun and you guys will enjoy it. That's pretty much it for me. Big shout out to Skybound Games for giving me this opportunity to try out this game. I appreciate it a lot. And yeah, if I forgot to talk about anything, I'll probably talk about it later tonight on stream or something like that, or I'll probably talk about it in the comment section. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below on this game down below in the comment section. And yeah, without further ado, hit the sub button, like the video. I live stream on Twitch every single day, and that's pretty much it. Take care, guys.